Exactly. Here we go. We're getting into our next game. We're getting into our fresh series, and spawning in the right-hand corner of ley lines, we have the South Green Protoss player. We have the Red Protoss representing T1. His new team, it is herO. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Green Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss representing Virtus Pro. It is Classic. Here we go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we get into our TVP, or sorry, into our PvP, into the first semis of the broadcast. See someone in the chat. Trigger doesn't use Storm because it's BM. Don't be a clown, Bappy. Don't be a clown. When it comes to Storm, as is being stated, it is a really solid zoning tool. I do think that the new Storm is most impactful in PvZ. I mentioned this before in the previous series between Lambo and Trigger, but from what we've seen so far, I mean, well, 2-gate opener out of herO, gate expand out of Classic, very greedy here from our Blue Protoss, but we saw it in the Lambo vs Trigger series. But the new Storm does mean that it is easier for the Protoss player to be more defensive and turtley in PvZ, and does make it easier, I would say, to defend turtle up on 4 bases and to max out and to get into Sky Toss. So that is my big concern regarding that. In TVP, I do think it's less of an issue because players are more incentivized to switch into Colossus and switch into Disruptors in a longer game state. Storm does have a bit of a timer when it comes to its usefulness. It can zone, but because of the massive amount of ghosts that come into play, then it's not as impactful. If you recall, now there are going to be more ghosts because they take less supply, and High Templar are going to be more exposed because the cast range of Storm has been reduced. So Templar have to move further forward to actually land Storms, which means it's easier to EMP them. Storms, they're still really good at zoning in TVP as well, but as you've seen in all the TVP so far, eventually you get out of Storm into Colossus, into Disruptor. But it is definitely something that players still have to get used to in regards to getting out of Storms, in regards to microing against it. And I would say that there is still a really strong power spike when Storm first hits the field. When I talk about getting out of Storm tech and transitioning into Colossus, transitioning into Disruptors, that's in the mid to late game. Specifically though, when you can rush into Storm early, and I believe there should be an earlier timing with Charge Lot, Archon, Storm, where you can hit as the Terran player is transitioning, and that might also be an issue there. I would also say that all-ins are less favorable for Terran players now because of Storm. I would say that Storm is a stronger defensive tool, and all-ins should be less common now as a result from the Terran side of things. But it's all like theory for now, just because this is day 1 of the patch. For those that are unaware, just because there might be some discussion happening in the chat that's not aware of this, but the patch that is live right now is not the same as the PTR. The PTR patch was different to the live patch. The live patch, a bunch of changes were made, which were never tested. So there are a bunch of changes that went live that were never part of the PTR, so never got any testing. Part of that is, I believe, the cast range. Part of that is the size of Storm. The size of the Storm was reduced compared to on the PTR. So the Storm is smaller. It's smaller than what was on PTR, and also the ghost change as well wasn't on the PTR. So there's a bunch of changes that are live here that were not revealed earlier. So I do recommend checking out the patch notes. Do recommend it, because they are different to what the PTR was. As for now, we do have Classic getting away with more greedy build. herO, he is behind. You can see here 28 workers to 36. Why is he so far behind? Classic went gate expand. So really greedy build here by Classic, and herO, he failed to punish. So far, he has failed to punish. He's attempting to, though. Double adept into the natural. Does commit to the shade. Shades into the main. He can one-shot probes. Yeah, he can one-shot. Getting 1, getting 2 probe kills so far, getting up to 3. 3, not quite 4. Does shade out. And here he tries to get away. 3 probes is nice, and remember, to make up for the late expansion, herO takes a faster third. So really fast third base out of herO to compensate for his worse economy. So hero's playing catch up. playing catch up. Behind this, we're getting into initially Oracle, then into Robo production, into Immortals. So here he's going for a more robust army with the Immortal count. Classic has yet to tech up, I believe. Yeah, no Twilight counts. Oh, sorry, Immortal himself. Okay, same tech. Same tech. Both players getting to Immortals. Double Oracle into the natural. Classic's out of position. Yeah, very out of position. 8 probe kills. Ay, ay, ay. That should not have happened. Classic trying to do the same. Hero's in position. The Feast has arrived, and the Oracle is going to be hunted down. Oof. Yeah, brutal loss for Classic. Classic, he had a lead. He started off with a lead with a very nice start, but alas, he will lose it. Losing the Oracle, losing probes. Behind in the third base. Hero has recovered. More than that. See Rabbax in the chat. Ay, ay, ay. Why are you so serious? I mean, it's hard to distinguish when someone believes that something is factually incorrect about the game, but they actually believe it, and they start I don't know, balance whining or crying about that sort of thing. I'd rather that not be a part of the Twitch chat. If you want to do that, go somewhere else. I'm sure there are other chats out there that let you cry about things. But now, moving in. We are moving in, collapsing the Immortals. Do go for the lifts here, but here he'll overwhelm. He'll overwhelm, takes down the Immortals one after the other, catching out all the Stalkers. Stasis does run out. Stasis does run out here, and Classic, can he get the Immortals? Gets 1, gets 2, gets almost 3. Yeah, messy fight here for Hero. Trying to drag him in. Does bait him into the Stasis. Whew. The Stasis coming into play. And here he barely does take this fight. Shout out to the Stasis traps, by the way. Otherwise, the Immortal would have gone down. What a strange fight. Very messy. Very messy. As it settles here, he still has a greater economy. True. Still has a better economy. Building up, we do see Classic working towards Glaives, massive gateway explosion as well. This is very committed play here from Classic. Going Immortal into Glaive Adept doesn't really scale well into a longer game. Doesn't scale too well. So it's going to be one and done. And 0 upgrades, as in there's no Forge, no +1. Hero's working towards a much more standard composition. Yeah, +1 and charge instead. Without Archons, I do favor Classic in this next fight, depending on the size of the army, of course. Hero gets in. He gets in once again. He gets 5 more probe kills. Coverage, kind of. When it comes to, I do see some people asking about Clan versus Max Packs. Here for specifically LiuLi Cup, they are flexible. Some weeks they hold both semis, other weeks they don't. So just as a heads up, sometimes they hold it, sometimes they don't. This week they are holding the matches. We will be covering both semifinals, one after the other. So Hero versus Classic first, and then Clan versus Max Packs. We'll be covering both. Charge just now finishing up. Again, Mass Zealot Immortal. Adepts, they do actually trade quite well against Zealots, bear that in mind. Now we're charging in. Zealots collapse in. Force Wheels, they zone away the Immortals. Immortals having a hard time pushing in. And Classic, can he hold his own? Are there too many zealots? Yeah, there are. Yeah, so many zealots here. herO he overwhelms, swallows up the army. And Classic, this is his final army here. His last breath, down to 2 immortals. GG gets called, and herO will take a 1-0 lead. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Again, a very intense, very back and forth game here. For the most part, herO was in the driver's seat. Initially, Classic had the better start. Initially, Classic had the better economy, and then herO just tore his economy apart with a depth harass, with oracle harass. herO took a lead, and Classic was all in. Classic, he was all in. He could not scale well into a longer game, so he had to commit. We did have a messy and shaky fight in the middle of the map, but the reality is that Classic had to do more damage. Classic, he had to break a base or just kill herO. He failed to do either. He traded with the army instead, and with that, GG. With that, Classic was outscaled, and now we're getting into game number 2. Let's go. Jumping into game 2. So loading into Tokamak. Disruptor cooldown going from 21 to 17 apparently doesn't make them more appealing yet. I would say we've seen a lot of disruptors. If you've been watching the tournaments from today, so this tournament and Pegasus Cup, we have been seeing a lot of disruptors. In the past, we've seen players be a little bit more tentative about transitioning into disruptors, but we have seen them quite a bit actually in PvT, bearing in mind that when I say we've seen it quite a bit, you typically see disruptors in a longer and later game getting up to your 4 or 5 base economy after your Colossus, right? Like once there's too many ghosts, once the ghost count gets high enough, once the Viking count gets high enough, then you typically do switch into disruptors, and we have seen that quite a bit so far. It's not like you're prioritizing disruptors over Colossus or over Storm. That is not the case. It is more so a tool used like in a longer and later game. But here we go. Here we go. We're getting into our next game, and spawning in the top right hand corner of Tokamak, we have our South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss representing T1. It is herO. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss, blue Protoss representing Team Virtus Pro. It is Classic. And we'll see if Classic is one to go for another greedy build. Remember, last game, Gate Expand. He went for a very greedy opener, and we'll see if he does the same. We'll see if he does open up Standard. 2-gate. 2-gate opener out of Classic, 2-gate opener out of herO. Where we headed? We'll see if any player does go for a pylon across the map. So far, that is not the case. Chilling out back at home. Everything looking normal. Everything looking standard. Ah, yeah, see, let's get all the AoE phase. Yes, yes. I mean, it's just because, like, once you get into a longer late game, you have Ghosts to counter High Templar, you have Vikings to counter the Colossus, so you're kind of forced into Disruptor, which has, like, less of a hard counter available there. Here we go. As we are going for a robot open out of herO. Okay, interesting. herO, he didn't see the pylon. Big misread. Okay, herO, we do have a hidden pylon in the main base. herO, he fails the scouts. We have a Stargate opener, and herO, his build here is indicative that he's trying to hard counter a proxy, hard counter an all-in. So a bit of a misread, as herO, he's not aware what's going on. Hidden Stargate in the main. Now, because of this build of choice that herO went for, because of his tech, once herO realizes that there is no proxy, that there is no all-in, he can turn this defense into an offense, get a War Prism, and go throw down a third gateway and just commit. Just commit across the map. Which is what Classic wants. Yep, there we go, third gateway. Third gateway is on the way, one base all-in. So one base all-in out of herO. herO, he scouts the expansion, he knows.
I have met the enemy.
Classic at the same time, he did not get eyes on the gateway. He's not fully aware of what's happening. But Classic is opening Void Ray. Very safe play out of Classic. He's getting ready for the all-in that's coming his way. So really solid read here out of Classic, but is it going to be enough? in general, I do favor Classic here. It feels like hero's kind of been like playing to the beat of Classic's drum. Second Void Rays on the way. Here comes the War Prism for hero. It's all or nothing for the red Protoss. Either he kills Classic or he dies trying. And again, Classic, he sees us coming a mile away. Now, something that I didn't get to mention here is that PvP was impacted by the patch because of the nerf to NG Overcharge. Because NG Overcharge provides less energy, specifically, that also means that the defensive shield batteries are worse in PvP. Which means that all-ins are stronger. So all-ins, they are slightly stronger than what they used to be. As there's going to be less energy for the shield battery. Hero jumping into the main. Oh, going for the Prism. Prism goes down. Massive pickup. The Immortals are stuck. Yeah, the Immortals are trapped. He's stuck. He can't leave. No, the Immortal. The Immortal is left behind, and the Immortal goes down. And with that, Classic is holding. He's holding. He's shutting this down. Oh, nice force field. For the most part, locks down the army. For the most part. Shield battery goes down. Backup shield battery is now done. Classic, can he hold on? If he can hold here, he can just win the game. Gets a Sentry, gets a Stalker. Nice pickups. Oh. Here he kites back. There's the NG Overcharge. Overcharge on the shield battery. And here he's running out of steam. He's running out of steam. Again, losing that first War Prism was brutal. And that may just be game. As Classic has a natural, and Hero does not. Here's moving in. Oh. Sending back the army. Now we're up to 3 Void Rays. Aye, aye, aye. His Mac line is activated. Here just going to be zoned further and further back. He's being chased down. Oh. And Classic is running away with this. He's running away with this game. Again, as you mentioned, like hero, he was just he was just forced to react, and Classic, he was dictating the pace of the entire game from the beginning. With that hidden Stargate. Likewise, moving in. We're up to now 4 Void Rays, and there's no shot that Hero can take this. Like, not anymore. not anymore, Pappy, not anymore. I will say that Classic did make a bit of a mistake here. He did activate all the alignments at once. Ideally, you want to stagger them, ideally. So, Prismatic alignments on cooldown. Boys are being pulled to buffer. Here, just bleeding out more Stalkers. Now making a stand. He's up to 15 Stalkers. Soon to be 18. Okay. Now, with this many Stalkers, if we can lure the Void Rays out into the open, we can start one-shotting. Can one-shot Void Rays. Here, he can still make this work. We're gonna need to go one-shot. Speaking of... Tails missed his shot, sorry. Yeah, it does retarget, and he'll lose everything. With that, Classic holds. He shuts down the army. GG gets called, and Classic ties up the series. We are going to the ace match. Whew, GG. We're going to the ace match. We're going to game 3. Again, winding it back, Classic, he hit his pylon in the main base and went for a Stargate in the main as well. Hero, he failed to scout the pylon. He believed it was a proxy, and he believed it was going to be a proxy robo or proxy gateway. He believed it was going to be an aggressive build out of Classic. It wasn't. So Hero, he responded with a defensive robo. Once he realized what was going on, he was forced into an all-in. So Classic forced Hero into an all-in, and Classic, he was making Voiders from the beginning, expecting an all-in. So Classic, he was able to kind of just, yeah, bait Hero completely. GG. GG, well played. Really nice setup there from Classic. Here he got baited. He got baited, and now we're getting into the ace match. Let's go. As spawning in the top left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss representing T1. Forced into the ace match. Can he bring it back? It is a herO. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Protoss player, the blue Protoss himself, representing Team Virtus Pro. It is a classic. Go. Here we go, and in the chat, thank you so much to Late Chrononauts. God, thank you so much for resubscribing for 13 months, just over a year of support. Thank you, Papi, thank you. Thank you so much, do appreciate it. As always, hope you enjoy the casting, hope you enjoy the StarCraft, hope you enjoy the content, Papi. Hope you enjoy that. Late Chrononauts. Gracias. Here we go. Just catching up in the chats. I see Vic in the YouTube chat. What race do you play? I play Zerg. I'm a Zerg main. But nowadays I haven't really had much time to play. If you're curious, if you want to see some of my gameplay, I guess. It was what, 4 months ago? 4 months ago I played a show match. I played in the Basilisk Big Brain Bouts. I remember Roddy, he reached out, he was like, Papi, do you want to play? I'm like, I don't have any time to practice, Papi, but sure, I'll do it. And I grinded for like 2 weeks. I think I peaked in MMR as well. I think that's around the time that I hit GM. And I played against Zumbrigub. I had a show match against Zumbrigub. And I'm really proud of how I played, really proud of the series. I believe the VOD is on the Basilisk YouTube channel, so if you want to see me playing, there's a VOD of my show match against Zumbrigub. I was very nervous. I streamed my POV of that as well. I was very nervous, very stressed when playing. But we pulled it off, man. We pulled it off. It was crazy. So you can find that over there. But fun fact, right after that show match, I play like I barely ladder anymore. I was like, I peaked. I'm done. Let's just cast. Not that I don't enjoy laddering. I do enjoy laddering. I do enjoy playing the game. But going for the proxy Stargate. Sorry, proxy robot one way still in. Let's go. I just have very little time to commit to laddering at the moment and streaming, just because of casting, just because of other things as well. Posting on social media, editing VODs for YouTube. Don't have that much time to dedicate to laddering at the moment. But hoping to get back into it eventually. Hoping to. Yeah, that was like 3-4 months ago. It was like pre-EWC, I'm pretty sure. Pre-EWC. But Classic, he does drop into the main. Again, Classic is going for the proxy, going for the one base all in. herO, he is semi-aware, getting ready in the main. Does lift. Did go for his Stargate opener into Phoenixes. Not going to be an easy defense here for herO. And now he's zoning away. Classic throwing down extra gateways. Now these Phoenixes, they can shut down the War Prism, that is true. They can also lift up these Stalkers. They can try to lift them up mid-fight. But the Prism is the main target. Speaking of, the Prism. Oh, he sees! Yeah, he sees, he knows. Yeah, War Prism's under fire, Stalker's out of position, and the Prism, it looks like it's gonna take a lot of hull damage. It may even just go down. He goes to the dive. Oh, shield battery. Clutch shield battery. Does barely save the Prism. But how do you all in with this? Right? Like the Prism, it's what, one volley away from going down without shields? Oh boy. And again, without the War Prism, there's no way to reinforce. Oh no! Prism goes down. Yeah, Prism is gonna go down. Barely does fall. For the cost of one Phoenix. Classic is heavily delayed, and behind this, herO expands. Wow, here he expands, gets his natural. Now, Classic still has a massive ground army. That is true. Still has a massive army. It's a volley up on the Phoenix. Does get a volley. Classic, he commits in. Would you go for the mass lift? And he barely does break through his Phoenixes, getting on top of the army, and Classic, he may still have enough. And look at the army size here, still 8 Stalkers, and he breaks through. He breaks the Immortal! The Immortal's thrown away. Very clutch force field. And Classic, he will still pull this off. Yeah, here a little bit too greedy. Unfortunately, the Immortal just not a part of the fight. Not a part of it. Classic, has he done it? Takes down the pylon, takes down the shield batteries. Here, he's locked out of his own natural. And he can't move in. He cannot move in. Again, here, he bought a lot of time, but as we can see here, maybe too greedy. Too greedy expanding. Too greedy getting a Nexus. A Nexus that he cannot hold on to. The overconfidence, baby. The overconfidence. And down goes the expansion. Nice control out of here. He saves. Oh, does not save the sentry. And Classic is just overwhelming. He has double the army supply. In the mirror matchup, the Super, it's not lying, baby. It's not lying. No. Locks down the Immortal, shades into the mineral line that Epsay can do bust in. And herO is being torn apart. Being torn apart completely here. Again, just too greedy. So we have to be careful pushing up the ramp. Classic, if he really wanted to, he can just maintain the low ground and expand himself. Like, he has enough sentries, he has enough force fields to pull that up. Oh. You're microing his heart out though. Jesus. Hope it does finally lose one. And one water goes down, the prism goes down as well. Here they're trying to make that stand. Does pull some of the boys. He does focus on all the Stalkers. herO, very impressive. Again, without his control, like without his control, that would have not been a defense. Impressive micro here with the prism for as long as he could. Preserve the Immortals. Does take the fight. Okay, we have a game. We still have it back and forth. Remember, Classic never expanded. So one base versus one base. Classic, he's trying to expand, focusing on that shield battery. This can still go either way. Dropping into the main. Worker count is neck and neck. Probes move down at Epsay here just in time to deny. The other probes. Shades in. Shades in towards the main. Oh. Here he has to be careful. Yeah, shades into the middle line. Probes are going down. No shot. herO. He's doing it. He gets in. 9 probes. 9 probes go down. Insane damage. herO, he breaks down. Depowers the robo. Suddenly, the momentum pappy from one player to the other. The turns have tabled. Like twice in this game. They just keep tabling. Oh no. Oh. Okay, coming into our main armies here. So we have 3 Immortals apiece. So 3 Immortals for herO, 3 Immortals for Classic. Classic does have the slightly higher Stalker count. Meanwhile, herO has the higher Sentry count. So he has more force fields. Likewise here, he has 1 Phoenix. He can lift. Nice force fields. Locks down a couple of units. Classic does pull away. Classic pulls away. There's an opening here into the main. Does not quite commit. Yeah, it doesn't quite commit. Lifts up one of the Immortals. Going for the prism. Oh, clutch control out of herO. He'll still lose 1. Yeah, still lose the Immortals though. Fight goes in favor of Classic. herO a little bit too overconfident there. And Classic is snowballing out of control. He's pushing in. He's going for the kill. He shades into the main. It does match the shade, and Classic, he will overwhelm. Boys are being pulled. Classic will shut down all the boys. Yeah, probes are going down again. A very back and forth game. Very back and forth. But herO will lose every single probe. And Classic has finally done it. He's done it. I mean, takes down the Prism. Takes down the final Immortal. And GG gets called. Classic will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. The hell did we just watch? What just happened, man? Just happened. Again, very back and forth. Initially, herO, he defended well, but he was overconfident. A lot of it came down to herO expanding, herO taking his natural, setting up in the low ground a little bit too soon, a little bit prematurely when he could not sustain that defense. Classic punished him, and then we had that back and forth with Classic also overextending, with herO having some insane micro in his main base, defending, bringing it back, dealing critical damage across the map with the Adepts. But then herO, he pushed down to low ground, he fought out in the open. I assume that maybe with the higher sentry count he could take the fight, but Classic had the higher gateway army, and with that, GG. Oh, with that, GG, well played. With that, Classic does claim the series, and now we are heading over to the European server. We're getting ready for the upper semis.